Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I am bringing you, on the day of the catalogue release, the new annual catalogue release, I am bringing you a new DSP storage. So very similar to the old one that I made. As you can see, this one has 6 boxes. We actually, as you will probably know now from looking at the catalogue, we actually only have 6 packs of 6x6 DSP now, and that will be the subtles, neutrals, brights, regals, and then the 2 different in colours. The rest are all 12x12, which I actually think is fantastic. Obviously you could make 2 of these if you wanted to cut your 12x12s down to 6x6s to store them easier, but obviously I have a storage for my 12x12s, but I wanted to make something just a bit different than the last one. If you recall, the last one, it literally just had this sort of bottom box that would have sat just around the bottom, and I did find that if I took one out they started to wobble, get a bit top heavy, and as you can see I only have the new 2009-2021 in colours DSP, but these little boxes are made in exactly the same way as the last one, but they are slightly shallower. So again, if I just pop that back in, so you can see when I pop this one in that it just sits slightly higher. I've also not put any tabs on the top to say which colour's which, because I'm a bit sad and I do like to keep things in a certain order. So it will be subtles, brights, regals, neutrals, and then my in colours, and that's the way they will be. So I'll know which is which anyway, and as I say, as none of the sweets, DSP, etc. is 6x6, it doesn't matter, because this is all we're going to have. So you might think it's a bit strange that I've left the back high there and not just cut it off level with these, but you know, I was going to have these slightly higher, and then I thought, but I want to be able to see and get at the DSP easier, because when it's that sort of length you've got to take the box out. I mean, I'm already filling and I've not even tried. You have to take that box out, then you take the DSP out, and I just thought, at least with this, if it's kept in its clear wallets, or even if it's not, you know, I mean, I'll take this one out to show you. Even if I take it out of the packet, you know, actually now I can flick through, see what colour I want to use, take it out, or if wanted to, I can just pinch the whole block and take it out. It's so much easier, but they're still individual, they're still pretty. As you can see with this one, I've used the gorgeous Mosaic Mood DSP. I absolutely love this. If you've received a catalogue from me this year, you will have received one of the cards inside, sample cards with this DSP in use, and it's so pretty. I don't know if you can see a little bit the effects. It's just so pretty, and now all my DSP's falling out. Look, you see, I don't waste anything, little scraps kept. Right, and that's the other beauty of these, is that you can keep all your scraps together. So let's get on and make this, because it might be a bit of a mammoth task. So again, as you saw, you're going to need 6. Now whether you do 6 the same colour or 6 different colours, it's entirely your choice. I've got Daffodil Delight here, and I've made 4 others because it would take me forever to show you how to do all of these. So I have 4 there, and I'm going to make, oh, what silly me, I've made 4 and I need 6. Oh, that's ridiculous. Anyway, I'll stick with this for now and we'll just be one short. So for your, what I've called DSP holders, so your DSP will sit in these, you will need 2 sheets of 6 by 7.5 inch cardstock, and that's 18 by 19.5 inches. You are then going to score 1/2 inch or 1.5 centimetres. So on the long side we're going to be scoring at 1/2 inch, then we're going to rotate clockwise, score 1/2 inch, rotate clockwise again and score 1/2 inch. Okay, so you've got that going on there. So I'm going to do exactly the same on this one. So long side across the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch or 1.5 centimetres, rotate clockwise, score 1/2 inch, 1.5 centimetres, rotate excuse me, score again 1.5 centimetres. Do it on both pieces of card. Then again with both pieces of card, we're going to fold and burnish our score lines. I can't believe that I missed one of these out. I clearly wasn't awake this morning. Well, I actually prepared this morning. I created the thing yesterday and then did this all preparation this morning, and I obviously did miscount it. Anyway, so once you've folded and burnished those score lines, one piece pick up, you're literally just going to cut away the bottom square as a square. Okay, straight lines, just cut across. Okay, the other one, excuse me, we're going to cut, and we're going to cut those wedges. So you're simply cutting at an angle for both of these. Okay, get rid of my rubbish. I've just cleaned and tidied and rearranged my craft room today. So I'm like, everything's going in the bin, everything's being tidy because I don't want a mess. Okay, so as you can see, we now have one bit that has the square corners and the other bit that has sloping corners. On the sloping corners, we are going to put our tear and tape. So, or wet glue, if you want to use wet glue, that's entirely up to you. As I always say, I don't have the time for the wet glue to stick, so we go with tear and tape on these projects. And you put it on all of the 3 tabs that you've got going on here. And when I made the others, I actually, and this will benefit you if you're making them, I cut all the pieces, then I scored all the pieces, then I folded and burnished all the pieces, and then I added tear and tape to all the pieces, and then I built them up. If you do one at a time, it may take you a bit longer, but it will take you a while anyway, because it's quite a lengthy project. Okay, so tear and tape on, backing off. As I say, if you're using wet glue, then by all means make one project, make one box up, then you can be leaving that to dry while you do the other. You know, it's personal choice. For me, it's easier to do it all in one batch, if you like. Okay, so once I've now got my tear and tape on, the one with the flat corners is going on the top. Now, line it up here. That's the easiest guide, and obviously make sure this is straight as well. But you will notice when I put this on that I leave a very small gap. I'm not butted right up to that score line. It's just easier, to be honest, to do it that way. And then again, when I'm doing this one, I fold this down as far as it will go on its own, butt it up to the back piece, and then line these edges up here, and then I just very gently touch the top and the bottom, and just very gently squeeze here so that it holds it all in place. And then the last one, same again, push that down out of the way, and just make sure that your box is sitting square when you put the bottom down. And you actually can just get your hand inside, or you could use a long ruler and just touch that tape down. And there's your DSP holder. So once you've made 6, not 5, of these boxes, you can put them to one side, because now we're actually going to make the actual box that holds all of the storage. So for this one, you're going to need, and I've had to write on them because it was a bit hard. Unfortunately, you can't get cardstock big enough to make this, and as you've seen me before, I use different bits here and there. So as you can see from here, I've got base and back, base and front, and these are my 2 sides. Okay, the 2 sides I'm just going to put aside for one side and concentrate on the base and the front. Sorry, the back, the base and the front. So to start off with, I'm going to leave those post-it notes on just for the time being, because, and you will see why in a moment. So the base and back panel, this is 12 inches by 3 5/8, which is 30.5 centimetres by 9.2. And then, this is going to be right in the wrong place as I can see now. Then on the long side, we're going to score at 6.5 inches, which will be 16.5 centimetres. Okay, move that aside, and then we have the base and the front piece. This is 9.5 inches by 3 5/8, and that's 24 centimetres by 9.2. And this one on the long side, we're going to score at 3 inches, which is 7.5 centimetres. Okay, pop my scoreboard out of the way for a moment. Ooh, you will need it again for your sides, but I want to concentrate on this at the moment. So we're just going to fold and burnish those score lines. Okay, so base and back. So you have a longer piece here that will sit to the back, and the shorter piece here that is your front. Okay, remember I've left these stickers on. So I'm just going to bring this back round, base and front, and then this one now is going to be base and back. And what you need to do here is this one, okay, is the full length of the base. This is shorter. So what you need to do is flip the short side of the base and back over and add adhesive to it here. So I'm going to use wet glue for this because it has time to dry whilst I do the sides. So I'm just going to add this all the way round across the middle. Just add some adhesive. There we go. That's the only bit of wet glue I do actually use. And then all I'm going to do is with my base and front, the small part is going to be your front. So the longer of the two is going to sit on top of the adhesive and butt up to this score line. Okay, so pop it on and then just put it on the desk and ensure you've got it lined up on the sides. I'm happy with that join at the back, so I'm just going to press that down, just get all that adhesive sticking. Okay, and now you can see the start of your box. So back, base and front. So I'm going to pop that over there now, and we're going to work on our side pieces. So you need two sides, 8.5 by 7.5, which is 21.5 by 19 centimetres. Okay, back in with your scoring board. And to start off with, it's very simple and very similar to the DSP boxes. So with the short side, yeah, that's right, with the short side across the top, we're going to score, that doesn't seem correct to me, hang on 2 seconds. Get my brain in gear here, hang on. Right, okay, so yeah, so with the long side across the top, okay, we're going to score at 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimetres. We're then going to rotate clockwise, score again 1 inch, rotate clockwise, score again at 1 inch. Okay, same applies with the next piece. So long side across the top, we're going to score at 1 inch, rotate clockwise, 1 inch, rotate clockwise, 1 inch. Okay, so you've now got these two shapes again. Okay, with, let's just move this out of the way a second. I will have to bring it back in again in a moment. I actually did this last bit on my trimmer, which proves to be harder when your trimmer is retired. and so I can't really use it on screen because it is a little bit awkward because you can't purchase it anymore, which is a shame. But we will have a new one coming very soon, and that will be very exciting, I'm sure. Okay, so side panels. So we're going to go ahead with these side panels, and we're simply going to cut a very fine wedge out of the corners. Okay, so again, very similar to the DSP Storage. Just cut a nice but quite small-ish wedge off those corners. Do it on both of them. And then what you need to do here is with your ruler, and this is where you need to make sure you're paying attention and not half asleep, because it will, I've done this so many times now that it gets me cross. So the first thing we're going to do is mark 3 inches on the left side of one of our sides. Okay, so that's 7.5 centimetres. Then what I'm going to do is with my ruler, I'm going to take that line up to the top score line opposite. Okay, so straight up there, and then this will just be cut across. Okay, then on your other piece you need to do the opposite side. So we're doing 3 inches up from the bottom, which I say is 7.5 centimetres, and we're then going to get a line from that up to that top score line, and then just do a straight line across. Okay, then either with a trimmer, scissors, whatever you feel comfortable with, we're going to cut that away. And so you're just going to follow that pencil line as tidy as you can all the way up to the edge. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the opposite side. As I said, I did do the previous one with my trimmer. It does make it quicker, easier and smarter, but I want to show you that you can do it equally as well with your scissors. Okay, so as you can see now, I'll bring this back in, and you can now see that these will simply fold in onto the sides and glue in. Simple as that. So let's get tear and tape on these. Oh, my window's open and there's people walking past, so I do apologise. Somebody on the phone. So again, just like the DSP boxes, we're just running that adhesive along the 3 panels. Likewise with that one. And then the same again for here. And then across the bottom. And you may have noticed that the colours I have used are slightly different to the Mosaic Mood one, and that's because I'm using the, I think it's called Free as a Bird DSP, from the Bird Ballad suite anyway, because it is gorgeous and I love it. So that's that part done. The next part is our DSP, so we'll do it while our box is flat. So on our front piece, we can get rid of that now. You need a, look at this gorgeous DSP, isn't it so nice? I don't want to use it, is that nice? So for the very front panel of your box, you'll need some DSP that is 3 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and that's 7 by about 8.7 centimetres. Just make sure I've got that lined up. It doesn't actually look like I've cut it the right size, but hey ho. So that's that on the front. Now you might be wondering how I've got this slope going on with my DSP. No, I haven't done any fancy techniques with it at all. I've cut 2 pieces of DSP that are 6 by 6. So this is from a sheet of 12 by 12. There we go. So I've simply cut a sheet of 12 by 12 in half and then that half in half to get my 2 6 by 6. What I've then done is turned it back to front, placed it where I want it to sit on my box, so I've got that nice equal gap around the sides. I've then got my ruler, making sure I hold my DSP as tight and as steady as I can. I'm going to follow the line that I've cut and then eyeballing the gap that I have for my frame around the edge, and then again you can use your trimmer. I'm just going to go with scissors on this occasion, and what you will notice is if you do the reverse on one piece, it will actually flip over and work on this side. Okay, so that will now sit nicely on that one. And so for this one, I need to use my other side, flip this over and repeat the process again. So I'm just going to line it all up to make sure it's all level. And then, now I'm not going to follow the line this time because I'm mindful I've been going for a long time and I would want to show you the finished project. So I've done that line. I'm going to quickly cut this. I did say it was a bit of, oops, gone a bit wobbly there. I did say it was a bit of a mammoth project, this one. But it's so worth it to have that DSP looking pretty, isn't it? And so now you should have DSP for both sides. So let's get these stuck on and let's make this box up. So just make sure it's all in the right place again. I'm going to be spoilt for choice now of which one of these to use because they're both as pretty as each other. And then this one will just sit on nicely too. And then I'm just going to grab my back, base and front, and I've got my side panel here. So I'm just going to get this tear and tape off all of these sides. And this is Pool Party, the base that I'm using here. I will make sure that I make another box up as well before I take photos. And then again we're just lining this up with the top and the sides and this bottom score line too. Just line that one up, and then the rest is easy enough because it's just like you would do with a box. So you just line it up and stick it down. Line that edge up. And then we're going to do exactly the same with this side. Take the backing off. And then stick this one on as well. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing for this one. So I'm just dropping that corner right in place there. Line up the top and the score line. Here goes my girls. And then the bottom you can just tuck in. Again, just line it all up. And then the last piece, which is the front, I just tuck that in, and I don't know why that's slightly higher, but I can trim that. Don't know why that's changed, but I'm happy to just take a smidge off, and then I can just blend that in just ever so slightly. And then you just pop your boxes, and I'll just grab this one while I'm at it to show you, and then you just pop all of the 6 in there, and they all sit nicely ready for all of your DSP. Hope you like it, and I hope that you get to store all of your gorgeous DSP in there. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!